And what's up? You're hanging with a very disappointed Niners nut today, as I'm sure all you 49er fans are extremely disappointed this Monday afternoon. As you can see, if you're with me on the live feed, I am just going back over yesterday's loss to the Falcons. Oh, man, what a frustrating game that was yesterday, man. I said it all week long. It was a trap game. I knew it was going to be a trap game. I was worried about this game on the schedule. I mean, not looking back in the beginning, but more as the season went on and the injuries started building up. I was really nervous about this game, especially the way the Falcons have been playing so far this season. Like I said, Arthur is a great coach. He's got them playing really well, really competitive. They're 3-3. They're not going to be the type of team that's going to be going to be talking about. They're going to be more of a team that's kind of like going to fly under the radar, and then eventually I think you'll start to hear more about them. But look, man, they're 2-1 at home. We knew coming into this game we were depleted. Coming into this game, we knew we had. Well, we didn't know about nickbosa until yesterday morning. He was out. No Jimmy Ward. No Elijah Mitchell. No Trent Williams. No Colton McKivitz. Obviously no Trey Lance. The list. No Javon Kinlaw. We knew about Ebukam's leg, but we were, concerned if he was going to play. The list just keeps on going and going, man, which is terrible. So, but look, that being said, just looking at yesterday's stats, okay, and watching that game yesterday, what really killed this game was the opening. I don't know if y'all can see that, but first quarter, man, that first drive by the Falcons was everything. Mariota to Williams, they were chunking up yards left and right, okay? And they had a really nice drive going, which lasted a good amount of time. And, they were able to get something from it, obviously, okay? Which was really disappointing. So right away, you saw that our defense couldn't hold them yesterday. That really sucked. I don't even want to say couldn't hold them. I just think that they were running a really type of good offense yesterday that really kept us stupid commercial. Sorry about that. They were real. Arthur Smith had this team running a really good offense yesterday. Caleb Huntley, I don't know how you pronounce his name, Allegier, the rookie running back, and Mariota. I mean, I can't believe that Marcus Mariota played that well. I can't believe we lost to Mariota. Okay, that first drive, I think, really put things in perspective. I couldn't believe that. 7-0. And then the fumble return, the touchdown off Jeff Wilson. Okay, I don't know why. Does anyone know why that there was no replay, really? There was no replay of the fucking stupid thing. There was no replay of the Jeff Wilson fumble. It wasn't challenged because from what they were showing us from that angle, I couldn't really see if that was a real fumble. Okay, I don't know if anybody else checked into that, but it didn't look like a real fumble to me. But again, I don't know. I was not there, obviously. So, obviously then, able to go back, able to get a touchdown, thank God. That was a really nice drive, okay, that we had after that. And then, of course, things started to pick up from there, man. All right. Things really started to pick up from there. It looked like we were back to our old selves. Brandon Ayuk from Jimmy G, bringing it to 14-7. And then obviously able to tie it up again. Brandon Ayuk had one of his best games yesterday. Jimmy G looking great in that first half. To end that half, man, I didn't have trouble with that interception. I thought that could have been a questionable interference call, but I didn't look like we weren't going to get many calls. Talk about the second half. Second half was a disaster. Second half was just you know, nothing was. It looked to me nothing was checked, nothing was fixed. All right, let's look at some game stats here. I had no problem with what Jimmy G did yesterday. 29 of 41 for 296. I don't really consider one of those interceptions an interception. I thought it was dog shit. One of them obviously was, but he had a good game, man. He looked really good. Was making a lot of good throws. He was accurate. I thought he was standing tall inside the pocket. Offensive line did a great job, so I can't complain there at all. Here's the problem. Running the ball. We stopped running the ball 16 times total, 50 yards. When do you know us to stop running the ball? Why did we stop running the ball? I don't understand that. Obviously, Brandon Ayuk, George Kittle, and Deebosamuel all had great games yesterday. These ads are really annoying. One thing that's concerning was this. Long ball, not really our thing. I think we're missing that Danny Gray. We're missing that Ray McLeod, although Ray did drop a really nice pass yesterday, as did George Kittle as well. But look at the long. 27 was Deebo, 19, 14, 10. The averages don't lie. If you're going to be analytic, look at the numbers here. We don't stretch the field well. Here was what I was most impressed about. They finally threw the ball to Kyle Juszczyk 4 times. So it only took 5 games for them to acknowledge him as a receiver. Other than that, shut up with these stupid ads, man. No one didn't throw the ball to Jeff Wilson. Charlie Warner dropped the pass, too. John Jennings really wasn't a factor yesterday, so. Wilson's fumble was killer, if it was a fumble. Defensive side of the ball, Warner does what Warner does. Look, there was a lot of players missing. He was doing everything he can to get to where he had to be. 10 tackles, 8 solo. Deshaun Gibson Jr., 9 tackles, 7 solo. Samson Ebukam playing with that sore calf / Achilles tendon and 2 tackles for losses. Huffnagel narrowly escaped a concussion, thank God. Dre Greenlaw, 6 tackles. Oren Burke, 6 tackles. Amanyahu and Ridgeway filled in nicely. Amanyahu back-to-back sack weeks. Drake Jackson, another sack for him. So I can't fault the defense here. Defense was on the field way too long. Defense was depleted too. I mean, we lost Shavarius Ward halfway through the game. Okay, he didn't return. Like I said, Huffnagel was hurt for a little bit. Then on the offensive side of the ball, we lose McGlinchey for a little while. He came back and was able to pull it out. Ray, really impressive on the return game yesterday. If you saw my video, he was bouncing off people. I don't know. I'm still waiting for them to implement him into the offense. I know he did drop a pass yesterday, but it would be nice to see them use him for what I thought he would be used for, and that is the long ball or dumping it to him out of the backfield, even using him as a running back for that matter. Robbie Gould did play, didn't have a chance to kick a field goal. Mitch Wishanowski, 3 punts, 52.7. One of them inside the 20. Go over to the Atlanta side of things real quick. Okay, 13 of 14, Mariota. All right, not great numbers. I mean, they are very good numbers in terms of completion to attempts. But 129 for 2 touchdowns. He didn't have to do much. He was scrambling out of that offense. Looked like a pistol offense. And Caleb Huntley and Tyler Algier did exactly what they were supposed to do. They chunked the yards together, and they depleted our defense, tired them out, and they manipulated the clock. It was almost perfect game management by Arthur-Smith in the offense. Throwing the ball, the receivers, nothing except for that 37-yard reception for Almighty Zacchaeus. There was nobody else really that you heard. Drake London really wasn't much of a factor. Kyle Pitts did catch a touchdown. But other than that, nobody was a factor. All right? And on their side of the ball, his was one of the most amazing things. My hat off to the Niner offensive line. We didn't give up a sack. Okay, that was really impressive. They also gave Jimmy G a lot of time. Troy Anderson, Rashaan Evans, Richie Grant, who got trucked yesterday by George Kittle, A.J. Terrell, great corner. But they didn't do anything on defense other than, force that fumble. There was no one really. They didn't get to Jimmy G, so it was really kind of disappointing. breaking things down the game stat-wise, look, we beat them in first downs 21-18. We had more passing first downs. The rushing game is where it's at. That's where we lost the game. We stopped running the ball, and they were able to. Third down efficiency. We were 3 of 8. They were 9 of 14. That's another area to check off. Total plays, even. Total yards, we beat them. Total drives, we beat them. Yards per play, we beat them by, 9/10? Whatever, 6.1 to 5.2. Passing yards, 296 to 121. Didn't matter that we had more passes, pass yardage. Like I said, the interceptions I wasn't really concerned about because they were kind of not in game causing. Here's where the game was won and lost. Right there. 168 on the ground to our 50. Like I've said before, anytime we hold a team under 100 yards, we normally win. Obviously, that didn't happen yesterday. They were averaging 4.2 yards per carry as the game went on in the third quarter. They just continued to just run us over. I think the defense was absolutely depleted at that point. I don't know if you guys agree or disagree with me. By the way, thanks for jumping in on the live feed. Penalties weren't really a big ordeal. Only 5. I'll take that. Red zone, we were, 2 for 3? Okay. Turnovers, 3, obviously. Can't turn the ball over against a team like that. They had none. And a fumble lost. And here's another part of the game. They outheld us on the clock. Okay. I don't know, guys. This is a trap game. It's a trap game. It's really disappointing. It was another game we could have won. We could have been 6-0. Let's look at the injuries, the current injuries for that matter. Still no Jimmy Ward, no Trent Williams. Tyler Croft is out. Origi Armstead with that plantar fasciitis is still out. Nickbosa was out yesterday with a sore groin. McGlinchey is now questionable. He was out for the rest of yesterday's game. Shavarius Ward, another groin. I don't think it's too serious for him or McGlinchey. Obviously, we know Emmanuel Mosley is done. What is going on with Javon Kinlaw? He is now on injured reserve with that same knee problem. I got to tell you the truth, starting to look like a bust. So, and I didn't want to say that. I wanted to give him the benefit of the doubt, but starting to be a bust. I don't know if you guys agree with me or not, but he's just not first round worthy, as it looks. Jason Verrey is supposed to come back any day. There's been mixed reports with that. Colton McKivitz, he's on injured reserve. That really sucks for us. Al Shahir won't be back for a bit. Obviously, we know about Trey Lance. Jordan Willis underwent a procedure and got, I think it was the knee cleaned out. No Mitchell. All right, so not looking really good right now. We're banged up. We're banged up big time. But there was no reason why we shouldn't have won that game yesterday. It was another game that got away from us. And obviously, we know upcoming this week, what is this? Drop passes and a turnover fumble. Yeah. Pine to hit if I'm saying that right. You're 100% right. Kittle dropped the pass. Werner dropped the pass. The fumble from Wilson. You can't have it. Although, again, Wilson's fumble really, I thought, should have been reviewed. From the angle they showed us, it looked like it could have possibly been overturned, but that just didn't happen. I don't know why Shanny didn't change that up. I can't put this blame on Shanahan at all. We obviously would like to put a blame on somebody, but it's really going to be hard to do that. I can't really put a blame on him for yesterday's game. It was just they were outplayed, outcoached, and depleted. It happens. Upcoming is going to be the Kansas City Chiefs. Obviously, we all know they lost yesterday, to the Buffalo Bills. They are 4-2. This game is going to be in Kansas City, so we all know this is not going to be easy. You're going up against Patrick Mahomes. It's a rematch of the Super Bowl 3 years ago. And I'm just looking at some Kansas City Chiefs stats. I mean, he's having himself a season. 1,700 yards and over, 17 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. Clyde Edwards-Helaire, they haven't been able to run the ball too well this season. And then, of course, receiving everything is Travis Kelce now that Tyreek Hill is gone. Juju had himself a game yesterday. Marquez Valdez-Scantling had himself did all right. Oh, man. It's so frustrating. And on the defensive side of the ball, they're getting a lot. 14 sacks. Chris Jones has been a real force to deal with. So this is going to be a tough game, man. I'm not going to lie. This Chief game is going to be a tough one. They're going to be looking for redemption from that loss yesterday. We're at home against them. I hope that we're able to get some guys back for this one. I don't know if anybody's heard anything. You're right. KC might crush us. It's possible. It's possible. But I don't know if we're going to be able to get a lot of guys back in time for this. So I think, again, from a bird's eye view, I like that first half. I like what I saw out of us, even though we were down 14-0. I thought the offense was clicking in all cylinders. The second half killed us. They took the ball. We couldn't get anything going early. They took the ball and just drove down the field, and they manipulated the clock. And they tied out our defense. Again, it was genius, great coaching by Arthur-Smith. He outcoached Shanahan. And he did it with Marcus Mariota, who, he scrambled for a touchdown, threw one. I mean, did exactly what Marcus Mariota is capable of doing. And it works. For them, it works. They're 3-3 just like we are. On that note, a lot of other teams in the NFC East lost the NFC West lost yesterday as well as we did, which was a pretty good thing, given the fact that we lost. But if you look at that NFC West right now, it's up for grabs. And we talked about this a lot. We talked about how this was going to be the consensus, that this was going to be one of those divisions that just is a very tough division to win in, as we always see. So I don't think it's anything out of the ordinary. But I will say this. Schedule on the horizon. Obviously, after Kansas City, we go back to Los Angeles. And then we got to come back home and play the Chargers after that bye week. So we got to knock off Kansas City and the Rams and go 5-3. Because from there on, think about it. Chargers, Zona twice, New Orleans, Miami, Tampa Bay, Seattle. Some winnable games on there. A lot of winnable games on there. But we already know nothing is going to come so easy. And the one thing I can say that I can put blame on Shanahan for was stop running of the ball. I didn't understand that. I don't know why he stopped running the ball, but he obviously did, and it made us one-dimensional, and they were waiting for that. But they outplayed us, and we were outcoached. So, look, we've been in worse spots, especially with the injuries. Hopefully this week, Bosa's back, Ward is back. Everybody who we lost yesterday for the one game or short amount of time is back because we need it. When we have Bosa, we need it. We need that engine from him nonstop. Ward has been playing. Shavarius Ward's been playing his best football, I think, of his career so far, and has shown that he's worth every penny. So it's going to be tough against a Patrick Mahomes offense that's coming off a tight loss to the Buffalo Bills. Mahomes is looking better than ever once again. He's doing it without Tyreek Hill, which says a lot. He's doing it with the great Travis Kelce and a variety of wide receivers they have. Is it as good as a team that we played 3 years ago, rather? I'll say no for now, but their defense is looking really good as well. So this is a game we got to win, guys. But again, yesterday's loss against Atlanta was a trap game. We were outcoached by Arthur-Smith. He did a brilliant job of coaching. He did a brilliant job of manipulating the clock, utilizing his two running backs, utilizing Marcus Mariota on the ground when he had to, only having to throw the ball when he had to. And that's about it. It was a winnable game. I don't say this about everyone. I don't say this because I'm mad about the 49ers. We should be 6-0. But that's all we can take away from it. It's kind of simple. And that being said, that's all I got to say about that in the words of Forrest Gump. I don't think there's anything else we can say about it. I will be coming at you more this week with some more 49er content for all things 49ers. Please check out my page on Instagram or YouTube, ninernutpodcast. If you have any questions, comments, or any other information, please shoot it at me. hanging with the Niner Nut. Enjoy your day, guys. Later.